All right, good evening, everyone. This is John Screamin' Eamon here with the guys from Red Vinter. Guys, why don't you introduce yourselves?
I am Dylan. I am lead guitar.
James drums.
I'm Eric. I'm the new guy, the second guitar player.
I'm Mike Bullock. Apparently, I'm the only one that gets a last name in this band, so that's me.
Pleasure to meet you guys. Um, so tell us about the inspiration for the band's name.
So we started with the name Red Winter, but it's kind of a common name. There was a lot of bands with that name out there, and I used to hang out on some message boards that Ola Englund used to hang out on, and he would always go on about in Sweden it's Vinter, not winter. So we were like, all right, Red Vinter. So
All right,
yeah,
and then how do you guys describe your sound to the newbies?
cave metal.
Cave metal, very slow death metal.
Yes.
And then what's the message you guys are trying to convey lyrically and musically?
I think lyrically, a lot of it revolves around mental health problems, um, panic attacks, anxiety attacks, just a lot of
Depression.
the depression, a lot of the stuff that people seem to struggle with, or definitely post COVID, seems to have been
Okay.
mental health issues seem to be on the rise. So it comes up a lot, and we kind of a lot of the songs have double meanings where overtly they're talking about warfare and bombs and guns and all the things, and then underneath it's actually a war in your mind. So, and we sort of have a theme that runs through the whole thing. Like the album Lumbering Menace, the first song Lumbering Menace is about the need, that kind of intrinsic need inside us to fight with each other, and it just escalates and escalates and escalates, and then by the end of that album you get to Escape Velocity, and it's actually about us trying to get away from it and escape it. So
Right. Yeah, phenomenal album. I mean, I've
thank
been
you.
listening to it probably about 20, 25 times already. It's been
Nice.
in my vehicle for probably the last month. So,
Nice.
damn good album. What inspires you guys lyrically, other than the mental health and war? Is there anything else you want to touch on?
I think, like I said, a lot of it just kind of comes with, you know, get some inspiration to start a song, and then it like I'm also a writer, so I'm very used to making things as stories. So when I have a theme that, like we come up with an idea of this is what the song is kind of going to be like, then I kind of build a story from that and then make sure the lyrics tell that story as best as
Okay.
possible. Sometimes it doesn't quite work out, but
And then for each one of you guys, who influences your playing? Let's start with Dylan.
Oh boy.
Lawrence Welk.
No, and I don't know, I pull influence from a lot of places, as people say all the time. Very generic answer, I know. It's I think a little bit of like blues influences. I like anything with a good melody and something that sounds heavy but is also melodic. So
Any players stand out for you as a main influence?
not specifically. I mean, I influenced more by like bands like um, high school. I was listening to a lot of Trivium, early Trivium. Um, I like anything weird, but also with a good groove to it. I'm trying to think of anything specific, but nothing's coming to mind.
How about you, Eric?
Well, right now it's Mike, James, and Dylan that are influencing my playing as I'm learning how to do these tunes. And I kind of suck at metal. I love it. I listen to it, but it's not my forte as far as a natural player. So it's like it'll be Jimi Hendrix, it'll be Jimmy Page, and Tony Iommi. And then I got big into bluegrass for a while and Americana and
Okay.
that sort of stuff, alt country. So I'm kind of coming from that side and trying to figure out how to play metal, which has
Well,
kind of been
from what I
awesome the
hear,
last 2 months.
you're the one playing on the last album. doing a damn good job with it.
No, that weren't me. I played one gig with them. That's it.
Okay.
You notice how he said he doesn't play metal, but he Tony Iommi, you know. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, those riffs are burned in my brain since youth, so that's where. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, James.
So, probably, Elvin Jones and Buddy Rich. I'm a big jazz guy.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I have a lot of influences. Drumming wise, Chris Adler from Lamb of God is probably my favorite.
Okay.
Danny Carey, obviously from Tool. But I also really love Dave Grohl. His playing Nirvana just so loud and powerful. And I try and impart some of that into this band because this band doesn't need somebody to play Danny Carey polyrhythms or a bunch of Chris Adler double bass, but it needs somebody strong and powerful behind the kit. And so Dave and Vinnie Paul are really big influences there.
Okay. Mike, what about you?
Voivod, Bolt Thrower, early Celtic Frost, however you want to pronounce it, depending on where you're standing. Stuff like that. Like I've been into extreme metal since it was first a thing way back when I was a kid. So,
Okay.
I'm old enough to remember when Ride the Lightning was a new album. So,
Yep, same here.
yeah. So, I loved early Exodus. Bonded by Blood is still to this day one of my favorite albums. Say what you want about Paul Bailoff, but he was a badass, and that dude was he was like the prototype for an extreme metal frontman.
Yep.
So, I was the front man for most of my early bands, and he was a big influence in that. Switching over to writing, I'd love to say it's Piggy from Voivod, but I could play for another 1,000 years and not get as good as he was when he was like 12. So, just try and go with the themes and that kind of stuff. And I love Bolt Thrower's Fourth Crusade and For Victory. Like, man, I've been listening to those albums since they first came out, and I'll never get tired of them.
Yeah, War Master for me was their swan song.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. So what song of yours represents you best as the band?
That's a good question.
It's a great question.
Man.
I don't know.
I'll say it because I was a fan much longer, and I think KIA hits all the points, all the pieces.
Yeah.
The riffs, the grooves, the breakdown elements, some changes in dynamics.
That was one of the first songs we wrote too. I mean, that was right at the beginning too.
Yeah.
What's cool is you played it out. It's grown since then. Having watched it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, when Dylan joined, he added some layers to it and changed it a little bit, and it got a little meatier. And when we went and recorded it for the album, because it started on the demo and then we put it on Lumbering Menace. When we recorded it for the album, I changed the vocals up a little bit, and it's definitely a different song if you listen to the demo version versus the album version.
All right. So who here was in bands before COVID hit?
I was, but hadn't been in quite a while. So.
Right. Yeah, long before that.
Yeah, I mean, technically, I was in a speed metal band called Ghost Shadows, but it was a online band. So.
Okay. So what do you see that changed most about the music industry since COVID?
Getting people to live shows.
Yeah.
Is a big thing. People don't go, and I'm just as guilty of this as anybody, but people don't go out as much anymore. They don't go to bars. They don't go to things nearly as much anymore. And we can spend time talking about the reasons, which we're not going to do, but that seems to be a big thing. Is that just the number of live venues that exist? There's still plenty of great ones around the Twin Cities that are putting on shows, but the numbers just aren't what they were.
Yeah.
Okay.
The weird thing for me to go off of that is back in the day, you'd see all the same people at the local shows, at the bigger shows. It was all one big community. Nowadays, it seems like there's a group of folks that only want to go see the national and international touring acts, but they won't support the local bands. And then most of the people you see at the local bands, you don't necessarily see at all the big shows. So it's almost like the metal community has almost started to fraction a bit as it's grown and grown. Instead of,
Right.
back in the day, it was one big cohesive community.
So you guys see the cover bands getting more attention than the original bands, the original music bands?
I don't
Oh.
see a lot of cover bands. I'm
Yeah, I
not
don't.
looking for them
Yeah.
either, but I think in the Twin Cities, it's original or
Yeah.
nothing as far as the local groups coming through.
Yeah, and there are cover bands here, but they're primarily like they show up at a club and they play there for 4 hours one day, and they're
Yeah.
basically just a live jukebox at that point.
Mhm.
So and they're talented musicians and they do their thing and they enjoy it. I'm not knocking it. It's not my speed, but they do
Well, that seems
exist.
to be the consensus I hear is more people are seeming to go to the cover shows than they are the original music. From a
Yeah.
lot of musicians I'm talking to, that seems to be
Pe-
what you guys are seeing.
People like familiarity. They like
Oh
the
yeah.
things that they know. I mean, it's really hard to convince somebody to go out and take a chance. What is cave metal death doom? What is that? Like, what do I want to go see that, or do I want to go hear, you know, uh, I don't know what people listen to these days. Do I want to go hear somebody play Chapel Roan or something? Right? Like,
Yeah.
probably rather go do that. It seems like.
And I
Yeah.
think
Right.
Go ahead.
misnomers about the crowds. There's safety at the cover places, and
Mm-hmm.
metal
Yeah.
shows can be scary.
Ooh. Big nasty mean
Yes.
metalheads. Rah.
More the
No,
venues than anything.
Yeah. The funny thing is, like, I've got a buddy who's a professional country musician, and he always laughs that he goes to metal shows because he used to be a drummer in a metal band when he was younger. And he goes to metal shows, and he's like, the metalheads are so nice. You go to the country shows, and there's constantly fighting, and there's constantly dudes swinging on each other because one talked to the wrong girl, and blah, blah, blah. He's like, you go to the metal shows, they're picking each other up and patting each other on the back. But then you go out in public, and everybody's like, ooh, metal, scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife
Mhm.
doesn't like going to. I mean, she loves going to metal shows, but other shows with the chippiness factor with people there, she doesn't. She's learned to. She prefers the metal
Yeah.
shows now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless you get into the idiot crowd killing nonsense that's been happening.
Oh yeah.
That's just, yeah.
So any crazy stories from you guys playing live?
What about? Well, no, it wasn't during our set though. At not our last show, but a couple shows ago, we watched a guy
Oh, yeah.
get kicked straight out of his mouth because somebody was crowd killing, swung a roundhouse kick, and just busted the dude's tooth right out. He was blood
Yep.
pouring down his face, on the ground looking for the tooth.
Teeth, blood everywhere. Yeah.
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 Yeah, that ain't good.
No.
So each one of you guys, is there a band past or present that you guys would love to have been on a tour with or played with?
Oh,
Eric, let's start with you.
The amount of dreams I've had as like a kid growing up where I'm drumming for Black Sabbath. It's a recurring one. And it always happens. I start hitting the kick and it flips away from me and I have to grab it. And it's really embarrassing.
And then you realize you have
Could
no
be
pants
worse.
on, right?
All right, Dylan.
Oh man. I mean, just getting to play any big arena, just having a crowd, I'm blanking on any names right now. Yeah, like the. Oh, I'm gonna have to pass. I don't have anything.
Dylan did not do his homework, apparently.
Dylan is tired.
How about you, James?
man, I think a fantastic bill would be Red Vinter opening for Church of Misery and Godflesh.
Oh. Yeah.
I think that would be fantastic.
We would just get blown completely off the stage, but that would be fun.
No, I don't think so.
Don't say that, Mike.
Yeah.
Give you guys a little credit, man. You guys kick some ass. So.
Thank you.
Mike, what about
I
you?
appreciate that.
Me, so I mean, I could go on all night with all the different bands I'd love to do shows with. My big thing is like, when I was younger and I was in thrash and speed metal bands, I was used to playing in front of 1,000 people, and now it's like you're lucky to get 100 people. So
Okay.
I'd be happy to play with any band that could, put 1,000 people in front of us. That was a
I get you.
similar musical style. Like I just saw Necrot a couple weeks ago. Like I think we would fit really well with them. They're a little bit more like almost German thrash influenced, but they had some
Right.
heavier stuff and they draw some people. Monolord, I think we would do great with them. I don't think Mammoth Storm's actually playing shows, but it's like a side gig for one of the guys in Draconian.
Okay.
Would love to play a show with them. They were kind of a big influence on what we were doing with Red Vinter in the beginning. So
I got it.
Do you guys
I-
play out a lot, or is it kind of sporadic right now?
we're trying to be really. One of my buddies called it methodical the other day. Like we don't want to play a million shows and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I already saw those guys last week or whatever. Or, you're cannibalizing your own draw. And we try and make every time we play, we want it to be something special. But at the same time, we're a newer band, so we need to play more than we probably do. So it's trying to find that balance.
All right. You guys have a fest coming up in September
And August.
and August. Okay.
Yep.
Which one's the one in August? Talk about that one.
August is the Sparta Metal Fest. Us, Thunder Goat, Plant, Phase Meridian,
Phase
Wilbur.
Meridian's on there.
Yeah. It's in Sparta, Wisconsin.
Yep. I'm familiar with it.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
going to be a blast.
yeah.
And then September's Wasco's Northern
Yeah.
Wisconsin Metal Fest.
Yep.
Which I do have a ticket for, so you guys will be seeing me there.
Awesome.
That'd be awesome.
So, yep. What underground bands do you feel deserve a little more attention?
There's a lot of them here in the Twin Cities. It boggles my mind how the Twin Cities just flies under the radar. There's some young guys that have a band called Enigmatis that have played a couple shows with us.
Oh,
And those
yeah.
guys, they're all in their
so
early
cool to
20s,
watch.
but they're super insanely talented. Like each one of them is just a total prodigy. And they just come out and just wail this incredible doom. The bass player is also in a death metal band called Begravement that's also got some younger guys that are insanely talented. They deserve, in my mind, they're one of the best death metal bands on the planet. And
Okay.
hardly anybody's heard of them outside of the Twin Cities. So, and then there's a lot of other killer bands here, Caustic Abyss, Living Through Ghosts. Man, I mean, Eric and I used to run a website for a lot of the local bands here, to do promotion for them. And I mean, there's easy 50, 60 bands locally here in the Twin Cities that deserve a much bigger audience. And then, I've been friends with the guys in Abominog since we were teenagers. I love those guys. I always wish they get a bigger audience.
Any of those bands going to be on that fest at Wasco's?
Volsunga Saga's playing Wasco's. I know that. They deserve a bigger crowd. They're one of the coolest Viking metal bands you're ever going to find.
All right.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any bands you want to talk about? Underground bands?
Yeah,
Mike Bay.
Wanderer.
Wanderer. Yep.
Okay. Eric, you
Love
said
those
something?
guys.
Mike mentioned a bunch I would have said. Silva is on there too in a band called Robin.
Robin. Yep.
Did you say Thunder Goat?
Yep. Definitely Thunder Goat.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are awesome.
James, you got any you want to spit out?
No, because I'll butcher the pronunciation. So, Ushia, UXIA, we just played a
Yep.
show with them, and it was amazing, man.
They're awesome.
They're awesome. They're way more proggy on that side of the house, but like just visually and audio, it was just a fantastic show. I'd listened to them online, but getting to see them play live was really amazing. Really, really, really impressive.
Yeah, super dialed in. And there's
All right.
there's a lot of other bands here. Grief Collector, Chalice of Suffering.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely no lack of killer bands here that I think. I don't know what it is. It's like, you're on one of the two coasts, you tend to get a lot more attention than you do in the middle of the country. And then,
Yeah.
you know, like I'm sure New Orleans has way more bands than just Crowbar and Thou, but those are the two that,
Oh, yeah.
that everybody thinks of. Or, you know,
Well, those are
Chicago's.
two really good bands.
They are, but that
Middle
doesn't mean they're the
country
only
seems
good bands from that area, you know. And like, you know, Nashville, like back in the day, Nashville had a ton of good metal bands, but nobody had ever heard of any of them. And I feel like the same thing happens here, where, you know, it's if you're not Prince or a Prince clone, nobody cares that you're from the Twin Cities, so nobody pays attention.
Yeah.
But there's so many killer bands here.
Yeah.
Any given weekend night, there's 2 or 3 shows, and every one of them is just stacked lineup of cool bands.
All right. Switching gears a little bit. Years from now, when people hear the name Red Vinter, what do you want them to say?
That singer was ugly. No, just kidding.
Well, hopefully, I'm seeing them next week.
Yeah. Yeah. And hey, did you see their record just went on sale on eBay for $500?
Yeah.
No, not really, but you know, it's not
Really?
about the money.
Really, what I want them to say is that song gets me, or that song helped me when I needed help. Like that, I would love for them to say that our music made a difference at a point in their life.
Good answer.
Yeah. Yeah, that was actually a big theme in the beginning. Like, you know, everybody's been through rough stuff, and there was always, you know, a song or a band or something that you kind of clung to. And then, you know, friends come and go, you know, loved ones die, things change, the music is always there. And like,
Yeah.
you know, if you got that song or that band or that album that got you through, it will always be there for you. So for us to do something like that and be that for somebody else, to help somebody get through some dark crap, that would be awesome.
All right. Eric, seeing that you're the newest member, what would you have to say?
Well, it'd be cool if they were saying, yeah, like Dylan said, we're gonna see him this weekend. He'll still be playing. I think when I first talked to James ever, he said something about coming away from a show feeling like that was the heaviest thing you've ever seen and felt. And so, besides maybe the emotional or the, you know, like the feeling stuff you guys are just talking about as far as what you're thinking, but it's what you're feeling, and to be able to look back at that music and be like, that was some heavy, that's some heavy stuff that's even still relevant today.
Yeah. All right. You guys have anything you want to talk about before we wrap up? New release, when's it coming out?
It'll land on Bandcamp next Friday, the 19th. Not this coming Friday, so it's not really next Friday. The 6/19 drops on Bandcamp,
Okay.
and then the following week it'll hit all the other streaming platforms. It is available for pre-order on both already. When you pre-order on Bandcamp, you automatically get the song "Ghost in the Fall," or "Cryptic Sight." So, yeah, and I'm jazzed about this record. So it was there was a lot of labor pains to get it birthed, but I really dig it. And
Man.
it took me a while to get to that point. While we were creating it, I would go to James every once in a while and just be like, "Is this really better than what we've done before? Is this really like, is this, you know?" And really wrestle with that. But I think Will Marvellis at 1459 Studios that recorded it and mixed it, mastered it, co-produced it with me. That guy is amazing, and he always makes us sound incredible. So,
yeah, this was extremely difficult to record. The recording process, personally, for me, drumming was very difficult, and then there were also some creative discussions or playing interpretations, however you want to call it. But to what
hi,
Mike
Eric.
said, there was a lot of second guessing during the writing process, and it's like, is this evolving the sound, or are we just, are we rewriting the same songs? Are we redoing the same things,
Or regressing,
or even worse, regressing? And it turned out that that's not the case. That we've actually gotten some really good feedback on songs being an evolution in the songwriting and moving things forward. So it's probably our own, self-destructive nature or questioning ourselves, and it's really all turned out better than we thought during the whole process.
Yeah, and I've
Yeah.
watched this group develop over the years, and I finally got to listen to I was allowed to listen to the album because I learned the songs I was supposed to learn. So earlier this week I was pounding it, and yeah, I text Mike, like, more or less like James said, it's an evolution. It's not the same album. There's completely different riffs, completely different heaviness. Not necessarily a different direction, but it's an expansion on the stuff that they've already been recording.
Yeah, and
Thematically it's thicker, richer in all those themes we were talking about before.
Right.
Yeah, and we were kind of going down a road with the songwriting style before, and just kind of realized that really wasn't working for us. So, in my mind, I feel like we drove down this road and then we had to kind of stop and then put it in reverse and back up to the nearest off ramp and then go a different direction. And that's what this album did. But it's still Red Vinter. It still sounds like us, and to Eric to testify, it definitely it's an evolution of what we've been doing. So really happy for it, and it took me a while to get there, but
Yeah, all the songs are done, just waiting for the release date.
yeah, it's all loaded up on the streaming services. You have to anybody who's ever released records through all the streaming platforms, you have to load them up a couple weeks in advance, and so
All right. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure chatting with you tonight. Anything else you want to say before we part?
Everybody should immediately leave and go get their copy.
Go see local metal bands.
Yes, and come to the Twin Cities and see local metal bands, because there's so many. Glutton for Punishment, Die Hardcore, Apothic. I mean, I could go on and on and on.
I'm not going to say anything because Mike would get mad at me if I did. So.
How about you, Eric?
No, it's just show up to local music, buy merch, stand closer to the stage so people can see you when they're playing.
Yes. Stand up to the stage.
We might not promote pit music, but you can at least kind of nod your head more and shove each other a little bit,
Yeah. I think something a lot of people don't get is, like, you go to a show and the back and forth between the band and the crowd is what makes the show great, and it gets better and better the more the energy goes back and forth.
Yep.
So when people come in and they stand 10, 20 feet back from the stage, that energy just doesn't make it to the band. So, so trying to get people to come up to the front of the stage and stand up close and really get into it, and that, I think that makes all the difference in a local show and in a smaller show and a club show. Obviously you get into those gigs where you've got 1,000, 5,000, 50,000 people, everybody's pressed to the stage. But in the smaller shows with 20, 50, 100, 500 people, the closer you are to the band, the better the show is.
Yep. Oh, I agree. It's always a better time when you're right up front.
Yep.
So, well, guys, keep thrashing. Have a great night, and we'll be in touch.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys, before you take off, do me a favor. When I do post this, share whatever links, your Bandcamp, Spotify, you name it. Share it to all, or any link you have. Even merch links, just tag it on that post, and then I'll share it to a bunch of different sites from there. And then once it's all squared away, you guys take it away and share it away too.
Yep, will do.
Sounds good.
All right. Pleasure chatting with you guys tonight.
Definitely. Thanks,
for
John.
having us. We
Appreciate you, man.
We'll be seeing you in September.
Yeah. I appreciate all the support, man.
You're very welcome. You guys kick some ass. I'm a fan.
Thank you.
So I enjoy your shit.
Thanks.
Cool.
I was telling Dylan earlier, I got some vibes of Overkill, Skull Crusher, some Celtic Frost on there.
Yeah.
There's definitely some Sabbath vibes. So
That's good. Good company to be in.
Yep. Damn right. So, well, you guys take it easy, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, man.
All right. Thanks again. I appreciate it.
See you.